Nestled in the rolling hills of southeastern Tennessee is a quaint town that is home to a legendary Halloween goblin with some remarkable powers. Tall Betsy, who appears but once a year, has breathed vibrant new life into a once struggling downtown. She's made October 31st a magical experience for adults and children alike. And she's transformed Cleveland, Tennessee into the Halloween capital of America.
She comes out only on Halloween. On Centenary Avenue she can be seen. Tall Betsy is the lady in black. For scaring night owls, she has a knack.
Tall Betsy was a legendary figure in Cleveland folklore. She was brought back to life by entrepreneur and philanthropist Allan Jones, who grew up in Cleveland.
Tall Betsy was originally a real person that lived here in Cleveland. The best I can tell, it was right around the turn of the century. She was a lady that was very tall. She would go out and walk the streets of Cleveland late at night.
Allan Jones brought Tall Betsy back from the dead and set her ghoulish figure once again on the streets of Cleveland.
Halloween was always a very fun time for me as a child. It was my favorite holiday. It was the one time my mother would turn me loose, and she had only one requirement, is I had to be in by 10 o'clock.
Now if you're good and go home early, you won't get et by this gruesome girlie. But if you linger till after 10, we want you to know you are a has-been.
My mother was born in 1925, and the kids of that era that lived around 8th Street and Arnold School, their parents would use Tall Betsy as a way to get them to come in at night. And so that's where we created the story about Tall Betsy, be in by 10 or you're a has-been. On Halloween night, November 1st, you'll be all right. And once I had the story, then we had something to create a poem with. So once we created the poem, then it created the legend.
Well, Allan is a little bit of a cross between Walt Disney and P.T. Barnum. Once he kind of gets into something, he really promotes it. And he promoted Halloween in Cleveland and Bradley County to where children and adults alike really looked forward to Halloween.
Jones was a member of a group of Cleveland business leaders who were seeking to draw people back to the downtown area.
We were at a meeting and they wanted to create a downtown spook for Halloween. Well, this was my opportunity to use this character I'd heard of all my life. Finally convinced them that if they would pick Tall Betsy, I would pay for the outfit, have it made, and I would play Tall Betsy for them. And so Tall Betsy won out as official spook for downtown Cleveland. And I did what I'd wanted to do since high school. I played Tall Betsy on Halloween night.
In 1980, Tall Betsy made her first appearance in front of Jones's home on Centenary Avenue. The event drew a huge crowd.
Well, the following year, I did it again. And by the end of the second year, I realized that something was really special about Tall Betsy because we had so many people coming by to see Tall Betsy.
All the school kids knew the story of Tall Betsy, and I think it was just actually being able to see her and just the general atmosphere just created around Halloween. It was just a circus came to Centenary Avenue. It was just, you just can't imagine the people and the spectacle.
By the third year, I had to have help. I mean, we had so many people coming to the house.
Everyone would get involved. And it just made Centenary Avenue basically the staple street of Halloween in Cleveland, Tennessee, because everyone knew Tall Betsy would be there. And every year it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Of course, the main attraction would always be Tall Betsy. She would come out at a certain time, but there would always be a build-up to her making her appearance. Then she would come out and stand in front of Allan's house for about an hour or so, and it would just be 50 deep. I mean, you couldn't get anywhere close to her. It was just really, it's something to see.
I come out only on Halloween. On Centenary Avenue I can be seen. Tall Betsy is the lady in black. For scaring night owls, I have a knack.
By 1985, I had such a big crowd on Centenary Avenue. We formed the Downtown Halloween Block Party. And the reason that is I wanted people to be drawn off Centenary Avenue. We had so many people and they wouldn't leave. So we came up with the Downtown Halloween Block Party which helped draw them downtown after 8 o'clock, and the residents then could go about their business.
Tall Betsy was sort of the adhesive that put together our Halloween block parties, which started out as a small event. But when Tall Betsy started getting involved on Centenary Avenue, it was amazing the thousands of young people and adults who would go by to see Tall Betsy. And I know when the first time I ever saw Tall Betsy come out of a house on Centenary Avenue, the smoke came up, the fog came up, and almost like a miracle, there was Tall Betsy. And the amazing thing is the children quit talking, and the adults did too.
Tall Betsy's magical appeal helped make Cleveland, Tennessee one of the nation's Halloween hotspots. The downtown block party attracts tens of thousands of visitors each year.
People will come downtown, and we'll have a couple of stages set up and entertainers on each stage. We found out really the entertainer is not the draw. It's just the excitement of the block party. We find out if we don't have a major entertainer, we still have 25,000 people who come into town.
Over the years, the physical demands of portraying Tall Betsy took their toll on Allan Jones, and he reluctantly decided to retire the spooky figure after her 1998 Halloween night appearance.
This is our last year, ladies and gentlemen, for Tall Betsy. I'm glad you got a good crowd here.
In 1998, the family was moving from Centenary Avenue out to Creek Ridge. I used that as a way to bring Tall Betsy to the end. It was actually literally wearing me out. I physically was unable to walk on those stilts anymore after 18 years.
There's a lot of disappointment today at the block party because Tall Betsy has gone back to wherever she goes to, and we can wonder where she is. But I would speculate that you never know. Tall Betsy could be over your left shoulder or right shoulder, and I think that her spirit still prevails at Halloween. I think she is still here.
The good thing about Tall Betsy is her spirit lives on today in the hearts and minds of generations of kids. And it's the spirit of Tall Betsy that creates Halloween in Cleveland. I mean, she hasn't appeared since 1998. When you take a look at the downtown Halloween block party, you're going to see the spirit of Tall Betsy and all the people in downtown Cleveland on account of Tall Betsy.
So go home early on Halloween night, and November 1st you'll be all right. Trick-or-treating is so much fun.
But if you see Tall Betsy, you better run.